He's been missing for more than 3 years, but each day we learn more about this case.
Joe Clyde Daniels' older brother testified today in court. News Channel 5's Chris Davis tracking the Joseph Daniels trial in Dixon County. Chris, I know today was a particularly grueling day of testimony, but ended with a big decision from the judge about a key piece of evidence.
Sure did, Rory. Late-breaking news in this case. Judge David Wolf has ruled that the taped confession of Joseph Daniels, that he has now since recanted, will be allowed to be shown to a jury as early as tomorrow in court. That is a huge win for the prosecution in this case and a key part of the evidence that they're trying to show and get a conviction. Another key part of their case was actually interviewing Alex, who is the half-brother of Joe Clyde, in court today, and he was able to share that he saw Joseph Daniels beat his son and then carry him outside and then walk him down the road in his arms. Here's a piece of that testimony right now.
What happened after that?
Well, I woke up from this loud bang. I didn't go in there immediately, but
I know this is tough. I know it's tough.
As you can tell, this was emotional testimony for Alex today, but his testimony wasn't without some uncertainty. Just a few days after Joe Clyde went missing, Alex was interviewed twice by experts at the Child Advocacy Center. In the first interview, he claimed he didn't know anything about what happened to Joe Clyde. In the second, which took place after Joseph and Crystal were arrested, he went into kind of a wild story about blood apples, blue men teleporting, and tigers. Alex later told the jury he lied in that second interview because he was scared of Joseph and ready to go home that day. The woman who conducted both interviews testified as an expert witness as to why Alex may have withheld some information of what he knew right after they went missing.
They could be scared. Somebody could have threatened them. They're not ready to admit what has happened to them. They have to go back home to where it possibly is going to continue to happen.
Alex also told the jury that he was on 2 different types of medication during that second interview. One was for allergies and others was sleep medication. Now, once again, trial will start tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. where we are expecting to actually see the jury watch this taped confession from Joseph Daniels, done just a few days after Joe Clyde went missing. But it is important to note that Joseph has since recanted that confession. That's the latest from Charlotte. Chris Davis, News Channel 5.
Well, thanks, Chris. So much happening, and we continue our in-depth team coverage of the trial now. Nick Barris and legal analyst Nick Leonardo break down how today's testimony could impact the trial.
Day 4 of the Joe Clyde Daniels murder trial is now in the books. Some 17 witnesses already called by the prosecution as they make their way through the case. And Nick Barris here along with News Channel 5 legal analyst Nick Leonardo. And really only one thing to talk about today, a key witness that was called maybe a little bit earlier in the trial than we thought, but for the prosecution, maybe the key witness. We're talking about Joe Clyde Daniels' stepbrother, 11-year-old Alex, who was there the night his brother disappeared.
Yeah, and this is the key witness for the prosecution, as you said. And I don't think that they're going to have any other powerful witness or witness that's going to bring a bang like this particular witness brought. But we heard what he testified to in open court, but there were some gaps in exactly what he witnessed Joseph Daniels do to Joe Clyde. But at the end of his testimony in open court, we did hear that Joseph Daniels threatened him and said, if you do not help me, then I'm going to kill you. But of course, did he mean help me dispose of the body, or did he mean, help me flag down someone else for help? That we do not know. But what we do know, and this was as a result of cross-examination, is that there were 2 additional videotaped interrogations that came in that provided 2 additional set of facts. So now we have somewhat, 3 facts scenarios going on here.
Even
making
credibility issues
difficult
for him, even though he was, I think, credible. I didn't think he was lying. The question is, what was he saying and how does that square with the interviews he gave earlier? But I think everyone's heart went out to this young man for having the courage to go and testify there when the stepfather, the defendant, is just sitting across from him. Difficult, it was tough. They had to take a pause at one point, but he made it through it.
Now, he did make it through. There was a bit of a pause. There was quite a bit of emotion that he showed on direct, and so the court did take a little bit of a recess. But the jury's got the hard part here because they're going to have to determine the credibility of this witness and how much weight to give each one of these videotaped interrogations, juxtaposed to the testimony that he gave in open court, all of which are different and frankly complicated.
Day 5 continues tomorrow, and we expect them to finally be getting into some of the videotaped confessions from the defendant. We'll send it back to you now in the studio.